I just spent a week working up the courage to call customer service to stand up for myself and get my needs met. And yes, it felt like aggression to advocate for myself. Like other people can and do stand up for themselves, but it's somehow wrong or inappropriate for me to do so. Clearly, I have a long way to go. Hi, Kate. Instead of focusing on having a long way to go, I would really love you to celebrate that you advocated for yourself. I'm celebrating you. We need to give ourselves positive reinforcement for our accomplishments instead of looking at what we haven't done yet or the fact that we aren't comfortable in that particular space, like advocating for ourselves yet. Let's celebrate the accomplishment. We were taught to look at where we fall short instead of really looking at where we excel and what we do well and what we continue to do well and all of that sort of thing. I want to give you a little bit of perspective and some tips as well, you and everybody else out there, Kate. If I'm on the spot and like in a restaurant, restaurants are a great example for me, and maybe something isn't great, the food is cold, something's wrong, right? I will be the last one to do anything about it. It's very difficult for me because I immediately go into freeze. And so it's not even that I'm thinking about what to say or what to do. I'm literally like frozen. I also notice that when I go into stores, if I need to find something, it's very difficult for me to go and just get a salesperson and ask. I rather wander around for like an hour trying to do it myself, that hyper independence. I'm much better about it now. However, I want you to know that no matter how far we go, some things are still going to be a bit of a struggle. And that's okay, because there's lots of things that I do very well. And those ones I just need to practice a little bit more and be a little bit more aware that, I'm freezing and maybe go into the bathroom and get some cold water or something to get myself out of that state so that I can advocate for myself. In other situations, like not something that's unfolding in a moment, for me to go and get help, ask to get my needs met, whatever it is, I know that I'm triggered. Like I trigger myself at this point when I start having mock conversations. So when I start having mock conversations, so for example, I am trying to figure out every possible outcome and have an answer for it. Talk about using a lot of energy for something that is more likely than not unpredictable, right? Because if I could see into the future, there's a lot of things I could do differently, right? So I have little methods that I use in order to stop myself from having those mock conversations. Number one, because I'm feeling the anxiety, I ask myself, is what I'm feeling based on a fact, or is it just a feeling? I acknowledge my feelings and then I look for the facts. And the facts are, for me, my upbringing taught me that I wasn't worthy of getting my needs met. And that wasn't a fact. That was a fact that I learned that was a lie. And that helps ground me and bring me back down to earth. The next thing that I do is I ask myself, what's the worst thing that can happen? The person doesn't respond to me well, or I don't get the need met, or I get criticized in some way. Okay, well, that's about them. That's not about me. I'm not going to die from that. I oftentimes ask myself, are you going to die? I really do. I'm not going to die from that. My rent is still going to be paid because they're not paying my bills. Nothing in my life is actually going to change. And I already wasn't getting the need met, so literally nothing changed, right? The next thing I ask myself is, what is the best thing that could happen? Well, obviously getting the need met. But even better than that is that I advocated for myself, period. I hope this helps. And I just want to encourage you to keep moving forward and looking at your accomplishments And I want to let you know that I celebrate you and I know how much courage it takes to stand up for ourselves. So well done. Well done. You don't have a long way to go. I promise you. It feels that way. But the minute you start putting these things into practice, they get easier and easier and easier. A long way to go would be if they get harder. That's how I look at it anyway. So I don't want to invalidate your feelings in any way. This is all about encouragement and giving you support, and you deserve it.